The Green Giant versus the Man of Steel, a clash of legends. The day began like any other in Metropolis. The sun shone brightly over the city's skyline, reflecting off the Daily Planet's globe. Clark Kent was seated at his desk, typing an article about a recent fundraiser when his super hearing picked up a faint, yet unmistakable rumble. A distant roar, followed by the sound of concrete cracking. Focusing his senses, he pinpointed the disturbance several miles away, just beyond the city limits. Without hesitation, he slipped out of the office and into a nearby alley, shedding his civilian identity to become Superman. As Superman flew towards the commotion, he saw clouds of dust rising from the ground. Cars were overturned, trees uprooted, and terrified civilians scattered in every direction. At the epicenter stood a green-skinned behemoth, the Hulk. The Hulk's enormous fists smashed into the ground, leaving craters in his wake. His roars echoed through the area, a terrifying mix of frustration and rage. This wasn't his world, and he didn't know how he got here. All Hulk knew was that he felt cornered and needed to protect himself. Superman landed gently a few yards away, his red cape fluttering in the wind. "Calm down," Superman said in a steady, authoritative voice. "I don't know how you got here, but you're scaring people. Let's talk this out." Hulk turned to face him, his emerald eyes burning with mistrust. "No talk. Hulk smash." Before Superman could react, Hulk charged, his massive fist swinging toward him. Superman raised his arms to block, but the force of the impact sent him skidding backward. A nearby bridge shook from the vibrations. "All right," Superman muttered, brushing off debris from his suit. "If that's how you want to do this." Superman flew toward Hulk, his speed blurring him into a streak of blue and red. He struck Hulk with a calculated blow to the chest, sending the giant tumbling through a row of abandoned vehicles. Hulk roared louder, his body seemingly growing larger with every second of his fury. The battle intensified. Hulk's raw strength was unparalleled, but Superman's speed and precision kept him one step ahead. They traded blows that could have leveled mountains, each punch resonating like thunderclaps. The fight moved from the outskirts of Metropolis to a nearby canyon. Superman tried to end the battle quickly, using his heat vision to trap Hulk in a circle of molten rock. But Hulk leaped out effortlessly, landing with a shockwave that shook the ground. "Superman strong," Hulk growled, his voice dripping with both admiration and defiance. "But Hulk's strongest there is." Superman narrowed his eyes. "We'll see about that." The Man of Steel flew into the sky, gathering energy from the sun to recharge his strength. He descended with incredible speed, delivering a punch that created a sonic boom. Hulk staggered but didn't fall. Instead, he grabbed a chunk of the canyon wall and hurled it at Superman like a meteor. Dodging the projectile, Superman realized brute force wouldn't stop the Hulk. He needed to outsmart him. Using his freeze breath, he encased Hulk in a block of ice, hoping to buy some time. But the ice shattered in seconds as Hulk's rage reached new levels. Meanwhile, scientists from S.H.I.E.L.D. and Star Labs worked together to figure out how Hulk ended up in Superman's universe. Using advanced technology, they discovered a rift in spacetime caused by a malfunctioning gamma experiment in Hulk's world. They sent a message to Superman. They had a way to send Hulk back but needed Superman to hold him in one place long enough for the device to activate. Superman engaged Hulk in one final, desperate gambit. Using his super speed, he created a whirlwind around Hulk, disorienting him. The scientists activated the device, and a portal began to form. "Hulk!" Superman shouted over the roar of the portal. "I don't know where you came from, but your world needs you." Hulk paused, his rage momentarily subsiding. In his own way, he understood Superman wasn't his enemy. With a final, earth-shaking leap, Hulk jumped into the portal, disappearing as it closed behind him. Superman hovered above the destruction, his cape torn and soot covering his suit. He surveyed the damage, relieved that no lives were lost. As he flew back to Metropolis, He couldn't help but respect the Hulk's incredible resilience and raw power. Though the two titans had clashed, Superman knew they were both heroes in their own right, champions fighting for justice in their worlds, even if their methods were vastly different. The return of the Hulk. Days passed after the colossal battle between Superman and the Hulk, and Metropolis gradually returned to normal. The citizens resumed their daily routines, though whispers of the Green Monster and the Flying Hero still spread through the city. As for Superman, he resumed his duties, keeping a vigilant watch over his world. Yet, something lingered in the back of his mind. The brief, unspoken bond he'd shared with the Hulk, a fleeting moment of understanding. But as fate would have it, the peace was not to last. It was a quiet evening in Metropolis when the sudden appearance of another disturbance broke the silence. Superman was once again at his desk, reading through reports, when a familiar rumbling shook the building. A loud crash echoed outside, followed by the sound of something, or someone, smashing through concrete and steel. Superman immediately sprang into action, his cape trailing behind him as he soared through the night sky. The source of the destruction was unmistakable: the Hulk. But this time there was something different. Hulk stood in the middle of a street, his fists clenched tightly as he looked around. His expression was one of confusion, as though he didn't know where he was or how he got there. The portal had malfunctioned. The Hulk had been pulled into a different dimension. Not his own, but a version of Earth that was more like the one Superman inhabited. The gamma radiation from the rift had altered the Hulk's perception, making him disoriented. Superman landed nearby, his voice gentle but firm. "Hulk, it's me again. I don't know what's happening, but you need to stop. You're hurting people without meaning to." Hulk snarled but didn't attack. His eyes were wild with confusion. "Where, Hulk? Where is home?" Superman, recognizing the frustration and fear in the Hulk's voice, stepped closer. "You're not where you belong. This is Metropolis. I can help you get home, but you have to trust me." The Hulk's fists trembled, still full of rage, but there was a flicker of something else: desperation. For all his strength, Hulk was a creature of instinct and emotion. He had no desire to cause harm, but when cornered, he reacted violently. Before Superman could approach any closer, the ground beneath them cracked open, and a massive shadow appeared on the horizon. This time, it wasn't the Hulk. The roar was unmistakable. A second threat had arrived. It was General Zod, Krypton's former military commander, his soldiers in tow. Zod had long awaited the perfect moment to strike at Superman, and he had no intention of missing it now. With Hulk causing chaos, Superman's focus would be diverted, leaving him vulnerable.